It's This Week in Bourbon, and now our legs are getting artificial intelligence. And here's your headlines for October 3rd, 2025. $1 million worth of whiskey has been stolen from Westland Distillery. Diageo has temporarily paused whiskey production at Balcones and George Dickel. And the Tennessee Whiskey Trail is launching the Tennessee Collective. And before we get started, here's a quick word from our partners. Everybody, welcome back. It's another fantastic, fabulous, 1792 filled This Week in Bourbon.
Smells like Sazerac.
It's some good old Barton.
Good old Barton.
Good old Barton. Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
This was actually, before we get into that, we actually talked about it earlier. You saw the video.
Which video?
The guy that has traveled to China and
yes.
And he basically, they put on this harness on him just over his shoulders and then kind of like wrapped this around his knees and his waist. And it knows when to walk for you. And he goes, can I run with this? They're like, yeah. They're like, how fast do you want to go? He goes, crank it up. Like, let's go max. And they did it. And I mean, he was like sprinting.
He's like Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
I
Usain Bolt. But I mean, if that is what it is now, who knows what it's going to be like in even a year and a half. I mean, you really could, because it was to the point where he's like, I'm not even walking. The legs are walking for me. And it's just his feet hitting the ground. And same thing with running. It was really cool.
It was cool. I saw it. It's incredible what technology has become. And it's just getting weirder and weirder. But that's where I could see it being a huge positive.
Yes. Well, at least we know at some point when, I didn't even think about this. Wheelchair, handicap.
Right.
People, like, it could solve all that.
Yeah. Totally.
That's insane.
My neighbor's in a wheelchair. She was in a gymnastics accident, and gosh, it would be a game changer for her.
Yeah.
Her and her parents, it would be life-changing.
It would be. I mean, it's just like it could solve an incredible amount of issues. I mean, right now we look at it as kind of a novelty, but this is
coming.
I don't know if I've told you this or maybe told the world this, and me with my tech background, I've told this to people. We are, I think, right now, like, we're just maybe creeping out of the Netscape days into AOL. That's where we're at right now in regards to this technology.
You think we're that far behind?
Yeah, of where this is going to go.
Wow.
Like, we're not even at broadband yet.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're not even close to being broadband yet.
Ooh, a lot of moral things to figure out with that.
I mean, there's a lot of ways that AI is going to take this world. But yeah, you got to think this has only been the past 5 or 10 years that this is really, truly kind of...
Especially the last 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really ramped up the last 5.
Yeah, and you can listen to there's a lot of great podcasts out there about sort of the history and stuff. And a lot of it has really started like 10, 15 years ago, but it really started laying the groundwork for what we've seen in the past 5 that have exponentially exploded. But it's, like I said, the whole world's going to change. Let's just see if whiskey's going to follow suit with it.
It'd be tough.
I mean, unless we have Tesla robots making the whiskey for us.
I'd love them to unload barrels. These damn things are heavy and
that's not
awkward to move.
That's not the fun part at all.
No. But it is a fun part.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's talk about what we're sipping on right here.
Yeah, we got our 1792 full proof picked by us and yours truly, and our awesome Patreon fans. We did this. Gosh, when was that? Was that spring?
I feel like everything's at least a year ago.
Gosh, I know. But
that's good.
Yeah, it was awesome. We're in the Rick House, and gosh, I'm blanking on his name. The master distiller. Can you help me?
Oh, why'd you do that to me? Ian.
Ian, that's right. Correct, Ian. It was an awesome day. I think we had like 5 or 6 barrels. Then we got to try some cool stuff, some double oak projects and stuff. It was a really fun day.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. He's awesome, and we've had a lot of good stuff happening over there as well too.
It's got some nice like strawberry candy, raspberries.
I was about to say,
yeah, it's really fruity.
It's really fruity. I almost kind of had like this brown sugar bourbon washed butter.
Yeah, there definitely is that on the front end, but there's this. Yeah, it's really brown sugary vanilla custard. I could see the butter. I've had that brown washed butter old fashioned. Where do I have that at? Anyway, some restaurant around here. But anyways, and then this nice vibrant like strawberry.
It's not Ian. I was thinking of MGP. Ross.
Ross.
Because I was like, because Ross came from MGP, and then there was Ian Sturzman at MGP. So sorry, Ross. I didn't mean to do that to you.
We're idiots.
Yes.
Sorry. But gosh, this is really good.
That's why I had to look it up. I was like, something.
I remember when we first started Pursuit Spirits, and we were like, you could get a lot of aged Barton. And I was like, we're going to have to sell it like $150. And I was like, why would you do that when you can get 1792 foolproof for what?
65,
50 bucks,
70?
$60. I don't know, 70, whatever it is.
It's a solid deal.
It's so good. Yeah,
it sure is. And I'll also go ahead and put a PSA out there. I put it on a mailing list, but we do have more Bourbon Pursuit picks available. You can go to kegandbottle.com. hit the barrel pick button, and then I think we're number 1 or number 2 on the list right there. So click on Bourbon Pursuit, and there's the last Larceny barrel proof we did is still there. It's delicious. Same with the Elijah Craig barrel proof. I like
both of those, but that Larceny was really special.
It was really good, and I put some other honorable mentions in there, which were some of our last Jeffersons and barrel picks that we did. There was a barrel cognac finish that's still on there. I was like, you all are sleeping on some. I
actually drank that like 2 weeks ago. I was like going through like tidying up, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this one, because it's like, because the picture on it's like toasted barrel and like cognac. It's like a guy looking at a girl, and the girl's toasted barrel.
It's the meme.
Yeah, the meme, and that cognac finish was really good.
It is. Well, we have quite a lot of news to get through today. You ready to get started?
Oh, gosh, yes.
All right. So this first one is a little bit of a somber note. So Mr. Evan Kulsveen, he was the executive director over at Willett Distillery. He passed away on September 23rd, and he's remembered as a pioneer who kind of resurrected a lot of stuff that Willett was doing over there and helped grow the American whiskey category. He's born in Norway, it says even, but his name is Evan. Evan immigrated to the United States and worked in various roles before marrying Martha Willett and reviving the family distillery in 1984. Together, they sustained the business during the challenging time for American whiskey, even returned distilling to the family property in 2012 alongside of his children. He was inducted to the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame back in 2019 and received the Parker Beam Lifetime Achievement Award. He was known for his humility, warmth, generosity, and he supported a lot of charitable causes.
Yeah, very sad to hear that. Drew's a good friend of mine. Evan's been close to us as well. And yeah, went to the funeral on Friday, the visitation, and it was very sad, but also very cool to see how many people Evan had impacted throughout his life. There was Trey Zoller was there, the Busiks, our friend Chad McCoy, the senator. There was the KKDA folks showed up, Josh Heifer, and it was just everybody was sad, but it was almost, and everybody had stories about how Evan kind of impacted their journey, their career in the bourbon industry. And a lot of people know Willett through Drew, obviously, but Evan was obviously one of those pioneers. And I was sitting there talking to Trey and Drew, because Trey got his start working with Evan to start Jefferson's, and he would talk about, just how like ahead of his time that Evan was. And I asked Drew, and I was like, how did he have the foresight to see, like, because he was buying, really old age stock when nobody wanted it. And I asked Drew, I was like, how do you have that foresight? And he goes, he didn't. He just loved American whiskey, bourbon, and he didn't really care that if there was a market for it. He just did it because he loved it. And that's always been their kind of mantra at Willett. And they do things because they love it. They're passionate about it. And so, yeah, obviously very, very sad. Evan's been sick for 5 or 6 years now, battling on and off with cancer. And I'm very sad for my good friend Drew and his sister, Brittany. But anyways, prayers for his family. But Evan has definitely laid, a foundation for people like us and other non-distilling producers, and really helped us and helped other folks in the industry really pave their paths. So anyways, rest in peace, and we'll miss you.
Yeah. It is a somber moment. Even knowing 2 weeks ago, we sat there at a table with them and we were selecting barrels. Yeah. And so it was kind of crazy how that happened, but yeah, very sorry to the Willett family, and yeah, thoughts and prayers, and hopefully a lot of that's sort of behind, and there's the Willett family legacy will live on for a long time too because of what he had done.
Absolutely.
Yep. So our other headline here was that Westland, there's still a lot of W's here. Westland Distillery, based out of Seattle, Washington, was the victim of a sophisticated theft that happened back on July 31st, 2025, losing approximately 12,000 bottles of its whiskey valued at nearly $1 million. The theft was executed as a fraudulent carrier scheme, where the thieves used a freight truck and fake paperwork to pick up a shipment from the distillery's Burlington warehouse. The stolen truck, which never reached its intended destination in New Jersey, included bottles of Westland single malt, blended and highly coveted 10th anniversary edition of Gariana whiskey. The stolen Gariana is irreplaceable single malt, aged in the Pacific Northwest of the Quercus Gariana oak. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Is it Gariana?
Yeah.
Gariana.
I see the word, but I don't know how to pronounce it either.
It represents nearly
Gariana.
nearly half of its entire 7,500 bottle release. The whiskey experts note that it will be difficult for the thieves to sell the rare and recognizable bottles within the U.S. due to its 3-tier alcohol distribution system, but the theft is expected to dramatically drive up prices on the secondary market. The Skagit Valley Sheriff's Office is now investigating the heist.
Yeah, this is crazy. And ironically, I was listening to a Park Street podcast with Fortaleza talking about their growth and dealing with tariff, but they also had this happen last year where they had 2 truckloads stolen at the same time. Same thing happened, because when you set up freight, you have these companies that they're like a middleman almost, that like they go and shop you the like cheapest prices, or not cheapest price, but the most fair or whatever for your loads.
Whatever you want to choose.
And whatever you want to choose. And obviously sometimes you're like, well, I can, the guy from Fort Lauderdale was like, oh my gosh, I can get this load for $500 versus $1,300. Look how much money I'm going to save the company. And then all of a sudden the things go missing. They were able to recover one of the trucks, but yeah, this is crazy because I don't know how, especially something like as rare as the 10-year Gariana or whatever you call it.
Gariana.
I can understand like Fortaleza or something. You could, like a standard product, you could probably like move it behind the scenes. I don't know. This is crazy. I don't. It's unfortunate. Hopefully they can get it back.
A whole truck. I mean, let's see.
That would bankrupt us.
It would. Well, that's what it's like. When it comes down to it, like whose insurance do you blame? I don't know. But if somebody just shows up with fake paperwork, like I don't know how you figure that thing out. But yeah, I mean, it's a scary thing.
Well, a lot of times he said, the guy from Fort Lee, like you'll have legit paperwork on the first truck, and then it goes to like a middle, like a distribution center. And somebody picks it up from there, and that's typically what happens where it goes array.
Now, don't be wrong. We have had a few cases missing, a couple cases being open and bottles taken out.
Yeah, but never a truckload.
Never a whole truck. Oh, God. Even if a pallet was missing, we'd be like, oh,
Yep.
And that's like 100 cases. We'd be screwed.
There goes our rent.
Yeah, I know. Pretty much. All right. Here is our other headline, is that Diageo has temporarily paused whiskey production at its Balcones and George Dickel distilleries to meet, quote, efficiency and productivity goals, resulting in the layoff of around 17 employees at the Balcones facility in Waco. And the pause in distilling and rebarreling at both distilleries is expected to last until June of 2026. According to a Diageo spokesperson, the company is, quote, ahead of schedule with its production volume at these sites. It's a very, very PR way to kind of look at it. While operations are halted, employees will work on strategic projects and maintenance. The visitor centers at both locations will remain open for tours and tastings, and the production slowdown is part of a larger trend for Diageo, which has also paused its production at Roe & Co. Distillery in Dublin and its Carbon Neutral Distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. A lot of distilleries were really ramped up, from 2018 to the last couple, say 2023. All this is, people talk about booms and busts. This is just the life cycle of bourbon. You either have too much or you have not enough. And so
it's our first experience.
Mark my words, in 6 to 8 years, you're going to have a shortage of whiskey.
Again.
All
right. You hear that, listeners?
Yes.
Go ahead. Mark your calendars for October 1st, 2032. And we'll see how because
not only them are cutting back, everybody's cutting back. And so, I mean, yeah, there's going to be assuming assuming that like demand, obviously it's down like 1%, which is, big for big brands. The overall category, I think, is still very healthy. But assuming that it doesn't start losing single double digits every year, we're going to have a shortage. We're going to have a shortage in 6 to 8 years because I don't see demand going just completely away, and we're going to have a shortage again.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. We're going to hold them to it. And by the way, would you like to give your lucky numbers for the lottery? And then maybe we can go ahead and take that as a guess as well. So
let's see. 14, 29. You don't want to play my numbers. No. I'm the most unlucky individual ever.
Well, that's why we don't go gambling in Vegas together.
No.
We'll go gambling with a bunch of whiskey barrels.
That's right.
Adventure Spirits Distilling, they're a distillery based out of White House, Ohio, is proud to announce its new partnership with Toledo Athletics. The partnership includes Adventure Spirits Distilling advertising at all home football and basketball games. Adventure Spirits products will be featured in premium areas of the Glass Bowl and the Savage Arena. Savage Arena. That actually sounds kind of cool.
Savages.
Adventure Spirits Distilling will debut specialty curated cocktails for each home football game, available exclusively at the premium areas of the Glass Bowl. I guess that's what their stadium's called.
Oh, very good.
Not as cool as Savage Arena, though.
I know.
Like, Savage.
That's right. Yeah, congratulations to them. They're good friends of ours, and they seem to be, they've had some really good releases, and that's cool that they can partner with the local stadium sports athletics. I mean, people drink it, though, so.
They sure do.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
All right, let's keep going here, because I said a lot of news. Barrelhood, maybe it's like Robin Hood, but Barrelhood has launched a syndicated investment platform that allows accredited investors to participate in curated bourbon barrel portfolios through quarterly fund offerings. The platform pools capital to assemble diversified portfolios of premium bourbon barrels, focusing on various mash bills, ages, and distillery sources. Barrelhood targets annual returns around 13.1% or higher, with returns expected to begin in the third year of a minimum 4-year hold period. The structured approach is designed to give qualified investors access to an alternative asset class that has historically been limited to industry insiders. They also manage a portfolio of evaluating barrels based on distillery reputation, aging potential, and market demand. This might not be the best time, but
actually, I mean, if you can get, I think it's a great time.
As like we have friends that are now investing in it. They're just like, well, it's like this is the paralysis that I always face of buying high and selling low in the stock market, because when I'm like, things are going great, let's go ahead and buy more. But when things are going bad, I'm like, I don't know about this, but that's when you should be buying.
I know. Yeah. If you have cash and are comfortable, obviously you're not wanting to lose it, but comfortable dealing with the highs and lows of the industry, I think the next year or two is like a really great time to invest. It goes back to my whiskey shortage.
There you go. Who knows? Because if you hang on to it right now, in 6 years, if Ryan's right, you'll be riding high once again with those.
That's right. But don't blame me if it doesn't happen.
those 4-year, $3,000.
I have nothing
barrels.
To do with Barrelhood. Let's be clear.
There you go. This is not investment advice, nor Barrelhood investment advice. So. And other kind of fun news is that Buffalo Trace has now celebrated a milestone by rolling out its 9 millionth barrel of bourbon since Prohibition.
All right, they're not going to have a shortage.
No. This achievement highlights the distillery's resilience, especially after facing multiple challenges this year. You've seen historic floods, Arctic freezes, and a landslide. With the Kentucky distillers collectively filling around 2.7 million barrels annually, Buffalo Trace remains a powerful driver in the bourbon tourism space. The 9 millionth barrel will be ceremonially placed on a display in the world's smallest bonded aging warehouse at the distillery, where it will be aged for the next 2.5 years before they replace it with the 10 millionth barrel.
So it's going to take...
They said 2.5 years.
2.5 years to get to the 10 million?
Mm-hmm.
So they are slowing down production.
I mean, you would think so, because...
Or no, wait a minute. Well,
they said they'd be doing 200,000 barrels a day, right?
200,000?
No
way. 2,000.
2,000. Thank you. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's going to go pretty quick. So we'll say 2,000 barrels a day. We'll say, how many working days in the year? We'll say 350.
Yeah, something like that.
So you're talking 700,000.
Okay, so 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Sounds all right.
Okay, so there you go. So we won't have this update for you for another 2.5 years.
Yep.
We're going to miss you, Buffalo Trace, but
we will.
We'll see it.
Sure, you'll Fill us with news. In the
there'll be something else, because guess what? Even the next one is about Sazerac, but this is not a pretty one. But because it is part of Sazerac, and they love their lawsuits, I think that we should be able to talk about this one, because a federal judge has approved a request for a class action lawsuit against Sazerac, and we had talked about this eons ago, I guess you could say, on the podcast, but now it's actually coming to fruition. And this is accusing Fireball and Parrot Bay. The lawsuit alleges that Sazerac misled customers by selling malt-based versions of its products with similar and nearly identical labeling to its original distilled spirits. Here's the key points of the lawsuit. Fireball Malt, plaintiff Sharon Pizarro claims that she was misled into buying Fireball Cinnamon, which is a malt-based beverage at 16.5% from gas stations, believing that it was the original Fireball Cinnamon whiskey, which is distilled around 33%. And the labeling on the malt product, which includes the phrase, quote, with natural whiskey and other flavors, also alleged to be misleading. There's also the Parrot Bay malt, which is the same exact thing. Basically, it's using a malt beverage instead of a higher Parrot Bay rum. Same exact thing. But the class action now automatically includes anyone in the state of New York who has purchased Fireball malt since April 2nd of 2020 or Parrot Bay malt since May 24th of 2020, unless they opt out.
When people save their receipts,
I don't know. I don't know how you
people buying those just throw them in the parking lot.
Well, yeah,
so I doubt they save their receipts.
Parking lot, or you're just you're tossing it away, or you're taking one down on the golf course.
What damages are they trying to, they were just misled?
Yeah, I mean, it's a class action suit, right? So I don't know who's going to get paid for this. I don't know how much is going to get paid for it, but this is something where we had talked about a long time ago. What Sazerac tried to do is, because in certain states where you can't sell alcohol most gas stations, you can only sell malt, beer, stuff like that. So they essentially reformulated it to look pretty similar, but to be able to sell in those types of environments. And now it's coming back to bite them, because consumers thought it was a bad move.
Yeah, there's probably just a handful. Most probably don't care, but yes.
Hey, but if you say I can get myself a $5 check from somebody,
right.
Sign me up.
Get you another malt Fireball with it.
All right, here's our last news article, is that Give 270 is hosting their Whiskey Wednesdays round number 17. This is the third annual Pappy Palooza series to benefit CASA of the Heartland. The raffle will take place on Wednesday, October 1st through December 17th, and it gives ticket purchasers the chance to win 12 different quote-unquote Pappy prizes, with a grand prize being a full 6-bottle vertical of, you guessed it, Pappy Van Winkle.
Whoa.
Each ticket also provides purchasers with 5 chances to win each week, as 4 bonus prizes are given away, and the organization relies on community support and partnership to accomplish their mission. Tickets are $5 each, and there's no limit.
Very cool.
Yep.
Get your Pappies.
There we go. And thank you so much for Give 270 for continuing to be a sponsor of the show.
Yeah. Great causes.
Yep. That is our bourbon news, but as usual, stick around. Bourbon release news is coming right up. All right, y'all, it is bourbon release news time, and you need to think we've already passed the release season, but the majority of the larger distilleries, they've done theirs, but everybody else, they're still chugging along.
That's right.
There's gonna be no
gotta hit those last quarter goals.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do. We got until December 31st to make sure that these salespeople get their Christmas bonuses and they can build their pools to make their families happy.
Not their Jelly of the Month club.
The Jelly of the Month. So Dierks Bentley is introducing Row 94 Foolproof. This is going to be a $55 bottle, and it's the newest expression in the Row 94 bourbon lineup. The release was announced at Green River Distilling back in Owensboro, where Row was made in partnership with Lofted Custom Spirits. It's barreled at 120 proof and aged a minimum of 4 years, and Row 94 Foolproof is made from the same mash bill as the original, which is 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley. And it says it's already received a gold medal in Fred Minnick's 2025 Ascot Awards.
Cool.
I know we got all the
Foolproof Green River.
It sure does. When 90 was this the one they did like random stick aged or something like that? Was this?
Yeah, it was oak branches or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
So oak sticks or branches, whatever it was. And I know we got invited to go to Owensboro to meet Dirks and do all that, but we had too much stuff going on. But
I do like Owensboro, but it's a long drive.
It is a long drive.
Sorry, Dirks.
And you're the only one who really knows who Dirks is. I don't. It's not
country singer.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to listen to country music.
It's Fred's boy too. It's probably why I want to ask him. No, I'm kidding.
It's a gold. Okay, I was like, so if you're gonna pay somebody, at least pay for at least a platinum, right?
I know. I can't remember the awards because like gold and double golds are good in San Fran, and then Ascot's are platinum. So
double platinum
and double platinum.
You just gotta figure out what's a more harder, rare earth metal than platinum, and that's what the next Pursuit Awards are going to be.
I want a quartz.
Quartz?
I know it's not that hard.
I was about to say, I was like, diamond? Like, that's a rock, though. It's not really a metal.
That's all right.
What are those? There was a fad for a while that people were getting their wedding rings and watch bands made of tungsten.
Oh, I think that's what mine is. I can't remember. I think it is tungsten.
Tungsten? Okay. Is it like, I don't know if it's like indestructible or something, but it was something like that.
Yeah. It's like my marriage. Indestructible.
Oh, look at you. Shout out to the wives out there.
That's right.
Booker's Bourbon is announcing the third release of the year called Jerry's Batch. This batch is named after Jerry Dalton, the only master distiller at the James B. Beam Distilling Company who wasn't a Beam family member. Jerry's Batch is made up of barrels from 7 different production dates that were aged in 9 different warehouses. It's 7 years, 4 months, and 21 days exactly. It's 124.7 proof and has an SRP of $100.
Jerry Dalton sounds like a NASCAR driver.
It sure does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he races number 31. I think he's got the Chevy.
That's right. Just doing some at the fairgrounds in his
Hey,
doing his figure 8 racing.
Yeah, he's gonna chug a quart of milk after he wins.
That's right. That's IndyCar drivers.
Whatever. It all blends. It's all gray to me what that is. I tell you,
it's like Dirk Bentley for you.
It pretty much is. It actually all kind of is in that same category. I do want to go to an F1 race though. I think F1 would be pretty sweet to see.
I know, but it's like
NASCAR.
But it's like you go and because F1, like it's not. Is it a continuous track or is it through a city? Like,
well, it's through a city, but it's typically a continuous track too. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if they go multiple laps or.
Yeah, they do because you can't. You're thinking of something that's like, what was it, the bubble race or bubblegum, something like that. Anyway, it's like a race through the country.
Grand Prix.
Yeah, but yeah, they're typically. I think Monaco would be an awesome one to go see because it's in the dense part of Italy. You're just drinking champagne. No. Oh wait, where Monaco is?
Yes, no, that's Monaco's in France.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Oh, Monaco's not a part of Italy. It is a summer review. What's the one in Italy? Damn it. Italy F1. What was it called? Dang it. I feel like an idiot now.
You should.
I should. Never mind. You're right.
I mean, I think it's close to France. I mean, sorry, to Italy. Like it's on the French Riviera, right between the Italian Riviera.
Well, not only can I not say things correctly,
he doesn't know Dirk's or mine.
I also can't read a damn map.
Yep.
Oh man, this is the flames will just keep getting more on my back the more I talk over here. I think that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I've been to several NASCAR races and they're fun, but like once like 200 laps, you're like, first 10 laps, you're like, yeah, and then you're like, okay,
let's go get a hot dog.
Let's go walk around and drink some beer. And then last 10 laps, you're like, yeah. But the in-between is like just great. I guess it's just great hanging out, people watching. But yeah,
that's pretty much what it's there for.
Yep.
Well, you can go people watching at J. Mattingly now, too.
Okay.
Yeah, they're now inviting consumers to customize their own bottles of whiskey for Halloween. Customers can select from 3 different mash bills, bottle shades, create custom labels, and you can choose wax colors. You can do it online or in person at the distillery. They're using a double staving method, adding additional charred oak staves to each barrel to enhance the flavor. And pricing for the custom bottles starts at $100. And shipping is also available to 46 states.
So you can give it a costume?
That's what I saw in the. It's not really a costume. They're basically they're another spin on the blend your own bottle, but this time you can get a swirl wax that's black and orange.
Got it. Sounds amazing.
Yep. So there you go. go blend your own bottles. Four Roses, their employees took part in the 9th consecutive Salt River Cleanup. It's an initiative focused on preserving the river that provides the limestone-rich water essential to the bourbon-making process. And this year's cleanup expanded beyond the distillery's immediate surroundings, with volunteers removing litter and debris from 2 access points. In total, employees collected around 880 pounds of waste from the river and its banks this year. And this year's cleanup was once again held in partnership with the Kentucky Waterway Alliance. However, to commemorate this year's event, Four Roses released a new, limited, private barrel selection bottle that will be available exclusively at the Lawrenceburg Visitor Center for $120. It's an OBSK, aged for 9 years, 11 months, and 50% of the bottle sales will also go to the Kentucky Waterway Alliance.
Very cool. There's probably a lot of debris this year because the salt, Ohio feeds the salt, or one of those two. And
I'm glad
you
looked at a map, because I certainly don't.
Well, Salt River runs like, you know, when you drive on 65 South and you cross like right past Shepherdsville.
Yeah.
That's the Salt River. So it comes up, it meets the Ohio River down on Dixie Highway somewhere. Yep.
I guess we should grab a canoe and really find out for ourselves.
I'm pretty sure it connects into like Kentucky River or something, maybe. Anyways, it's an important riverway for Kentucky.
Is it a safe one to go and, say, paddleboard?
Yeah, they have they do like canoe and paddleboard. I mean, you wouldn't want to do it in the spring when it's flooded, but it's perfect time to go because Four Roses just cleaned all the shit up. So all the debris. So right now is peak season.
There we go. So we'll just know that end of September every year is the best time to go and get your jet skis out there.
Yeah. I don't know if you can do a jet ski, but
you could back up a jet ski in anything. You can do it in a small kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say you're not going to scrape the bottom of it on some rocks, but, you know, jet skis are fun.
They are.
Never see anybody upset and frowning on a jet ski. They're always happy.
Unless you're like, when it's choppy out, you're just getting smacking the entire time.
Boom, boom. You know, it's the hardest thing when they tell you that you have to speed up into the turns. It never, like when you first do it, it just never clicks and it was falling off. But then you start, you know, really gearing into the turns. You're like, now this is fun.
Now
again.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep going here. We got a couple more. The World Whiskey Society has expanded its Doc Holiday collection with a limited release of a 16-year bourbon. I wonder what this is. It's a well-aged expression with a mash bill of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. And this is also going to have a price tag of $400.
Gobble, gobble, and whatever a buffalo makes.
I don't know. Maybe that's a moo. I don't really know. I mean, buffaloes have to make some sort of noise.
Cow noise.
Yeah,
they got to be related.
I think it's more like a hub, like.
Yeah,
I think that's typically what they do.
Got it.
I mean, only time I've watched buffaloes on like TikTok or scrolling is because they just end up next to somebody's car door. Yeah, or they're walking across the road.
They are massive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to walk in front of one.
I don't want to mess with them. I'll stay out of their trace.
Yep.
All right. Widow Jane is announcing the release of its 2025 edition of The Vaults. It's an annual limited release of rare bourbon. And this release is a blend of bourbons aged at least 15 years and finished in mythological oak, harvested from ancient forest off the Mediterranean coast of Greece. That's
where Monaco is.
Perfect. Yeah. That's got to be on the other side of France. The Vaults 2025 will be available for a retail price of $250. The finishing casks are made from oak harvested from the ancient forest surrounding Amphlokia. It's the mountainous city of the Mediterranean coast of Greece. As with all Widow Jane whiskeys, the Vaults is non-chill filtered, proof limestone-rich water, sourced from the legendary Rosendale mines of upstate New York. And this is going to be limited to around 15,500 bottles nationally.
Oh, wow. Pretty good sales release.
Well, I didn't know mythological oak was a thing, but we sure shit do now.
Yeah. So is barrels made out of this wood?
You can make barrels out of anything, I think, at this point. I mean, we should probably just find any wood and start throwing.
Well, it has to be oak, right?
Well, this is oak. I mean, we can try. You can try bamboo.
To an olive tree.
Yeah, might as well. You know, some grape.
Good for your skin.
So chop up some grapevines like you do with sawdust and plywood and make a barrel out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be great.
Sure.
Make a hell of a story.
It sure would. I don't know how it's going to taste, but let's start as small. We'll just do like a 1 gallon barrel. You have any grapevines you'd have to chop up to make a 1 gallon barrel out of sawdust.
That's a lot.
That'd be, even grapes in general. I've never understood this. Well, I can go buy a bottle of wine for $8. I don't know how many grapes go into that, but if I go buy a bag of grapes at the grocery store, I mean, that thing's like $10 to $12.
That's true.
I don't get it. Like, is it just because like grapes just you can't transport them? I mean, I get it. There's sort of transportation costs, but there's got to be way more costs involved with transportation of wine. You've got all the processing, you've got the taxes, you got all that goes into it. You can't tell me that the raw grape is still going to cost more than what it takes to make a bottle of wine.
Well, I guess you could say that about corn too. I mean, you could buy like 10 husks of corn for probably $20 at a.
There's a lot of corn that goes into the whiskey, though.
Well, I know. Same thing as the grapes. Damn it, right.
I hate you and your analogies.
But I agree. I mean, that is a great question because usually these wine grapes are expensive to grow, and it's like, why wouldn't? But they're not like good table grapes. They're not good eating.
They're not. I don't know. I've never really tried going and picking them off the vine. Maybe I should have done that. I guess I need to go to Napa.
Yes, you do.
All right. I'll add it to the list of places I'll go once we have free time.
Yep.
One of these days. All right. Town Branch is releasing Imperium MMXXV.
Okay.
We can go ahead and ask the Google machine. Let's see. MMXXV is the Roman numeral representing the year
2026.
Close. 2025.
We're in 2025. Stupid.
It would have had like an I on the end of it. So next year we'll have that.
Whoops.
So this is a limited edition Kentucky Straight Bourbon as the second annual release of this series. The bourbon is built on a mash bill of 50% wheated bourbon of the foundation, and that's bottled at 105 proof, non-chill filtered, offered an SRP of $120. And this blend, again, begins with 50% of bourbon base that marries 50% of Town Branch's other bourbon stocks to create a hybrid profile from the distillery. And this year's Imperium crowns Bourbon Heritage Month as a testament to Town Branch's commitment to exceptional bourbon making. It's around 5.5 to 8 years old with around 219 cases that will be available.
That sounds fun. Exciting.
Yeah. You would think, Heaven Hill does that from time to time. You would think more distilleries would try and be like, yeah, let's just grab a bunch of mash bills and throw them together.
Yeah.
You don't see it too often though, other than what, like Little Book.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that they do there.
I mean, that's what Evan was famous for, like all the Willett, like not their family estates, but the like Rowan's Creek, Noah's Mill, Kentucky Vintage, Pure Kentucky. They're all blends of 2 or 3 different mash bills.
Is it?
Yeah. He's one of the pioneers in that.
Well, it all comes back to Evan at the very end of the day. 2 more here. Baker's High Rise 7-year-old single barrel bourbon is being re-released in 2025, made with a bourbon mash bill. Blah, blah, blah. They really hyped that one up. There's really nothing to say. 7 years old, 107 proof, $75. That's all I got.
All right. Direct.
Yep. Very direct to the point. Our last one here, which was kind of special, and I saved it here, is that the Tennessee Whiskey Trail is launching the Tennessee Collective. This is a blend of 12 different hand-selected barrels from 12 different distilleries across the state. And this is the first collective bottling that the Tennessee Whiskey Trail has offered. The barrels were blended at Sugarlands Distilling Company under master distiller Greg Edom, and each barrel was aged a minimum of 4 years. It's bottled at cask strength, creating approximately around 2,000 bottles. The blend will be available for pre-order with pickup on November 1st at the Townsend Visitor Center during the Trail's Grains and Grits Festival.
That's fun. Taking the Bardstown Collective on.
It kind of is. Yeah,
I like it.
But no. Actually, it's not the Bardstown Collective.
Well, because the
Bardstown Collective is a bunch of single barrels all coming from different places.
Yeah.
This one, it was in the press release, but there was 12 different distilleries. I saw Company was on there and a few other ones. And so everybody, I guess, donates a barrel, finds a barrel, whatever it is, and then they blend it all together as one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's actually
a collective,
a unity of other distillers in the state. Yeah.
I know Kentucky would never do that. Probably.
Well, there's like
only an
40
NDP
of us.
would.
Yeah, there's only like 40 of us here. So you're like, yeah, let's put this together. And now we've got more whiskey than we can even sell.
And that's right.
That would have to happen. But that's it, man. That is this week in bourbon. There was a lot to go through today, wasn't there?
I thought it was gonna be longer, but I guess it's 42 minutes.
Yeah, we're a little bit over around there. So
yeah, that Barton's really good.
It is solid.
Gosh,
it is solid. So
it's one of the better Bartons I've tried in a while.
Well, now you part of Patreon can be the first people to go and get that. And then, like I said,
do you remember the age on it?
16 years old, something like that.
Yeah, right. 25.
It is 25-year-old.
I had to guess it was like a 8 or 9
or 10, something like that.
It's got a nice sweet oak on the finish.
That's my name.
Yep.
Don't wear it out. All right, that is going to be it. That is our This Week in Bourbon. We're going to have a break next week, but we'll be back the week after that with more great bourbon news coming at you. With that, cheers, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Doodles.